Israel has many interesting places to see and to visit, and today I'm going to visit one of them, and it's a place where Jesus Christ, according to tradition, spent more than 30 years of his life. Today I'm going on a trip to Galilee. A couple hours drive from Jerusalem takes us down below sea level to the Sea of Galilee. Galilee is famous as the place where Jesus did his 3 years of ministry and where so many Bible stories were set. But first, we will visit Nazareth. This busy north end of Galilee is where the Bible says Jesus walked on water, calmed the storm, and talked fishermen into changing careers. In the Bible, Matthew wrote, as Jesus was walking beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Peter and Andrew. They were casting a net into the lake as they were fishermen. And Jesus said, "Come, follow me, and I'll make you fishers of men." The faithful come here to worship, be inspired, and walk in the footsteps of Jesus. Although born in Bethlehem, according to Matthew and Luke, Jesus was a Galilean from Nazareth. He was born to Joseph and Mary. As a young adult, he went on to be baptized by the prophet John the Baptist and shortly thereafter became an itinerant preacher and healer. This is the Basilica of the Annunciation in Nazareth. The lower level, which we are looking at, where people are lining up, contains the Grotto of the Annunciation, believed by many Christians to be the remains of the original childhood home of Mary. So, why is it called Annunciation? Well, it was established over the site where the Catholic tradition holds to be the house of Virgin Mary, and where Angel Gabriel appeared to her and announced that she would conceive and bear the Son of God, Jesus, an event known as the Annunciation. The upper level of the church contains a number of images of Mary, mainly mosaics, each from a different country with significant Catholic population. A historically significant site considered sacred within some circles of Christianity, particularly Catholics, the Basilica attracts many Catholic, Anglican, and Eastern Orthodox Christian visitors every year, as many tourists who just want to visit the sites without any particular religious affiliation. Christian tradition has held that the structure was commissioned by Emperor Constantine I, whose mother, Saint Helena, helped to found churches commemorating important events in Jesus Christ's life. The Church of the Annunciation was founded around the same time as the Church of the Nativity, the birthplace of Jesus, and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, where he was crucified. Some version of it was known to have still been in existence around 570 AD, and over the centuries the church was destroyed, rebuilt, etc., etc. A competing view is that the church was the site of the Holy House of Loreto, which, according to Christian legend, was transported by angels across the sea to Loreto, Italy, at the time of the Muslim conquest. The old church was completely demolished in 1954 to allow for the construction of a new basilica. The new basilica was built during the years 1960 to 69, I think. And Pope Paul VI celebrated Mass in the new church during his trip to the Holy Land in 1964. This is outside of St. Joseph's Church. It was built in 1914 over the remains of much older churches. It is located, according to early traditions, over the carpenter workshop or the house of the Holy Family. It stands very much in the shadow of the Church of the Annunciation on its southern side, just as Joseph himself lived in the shadow of Jesus and Mary. So this is the famous Sea of Galilee. Why is it called a sea? Is it a sea? No, of course it's not a sea. It's a lake. It's the biggest, largest lake in Israel. And it's called a sea because the people who named it hundreds of years ago thought it was a sea because at that time they didn't travel, there were no communication with the outside world, so they thought it was a sea. I'm kind of thinking they probably didn't know that sea has salty water, because this lake does not have salty water, it's just fresh water, so that would have been a hint that it's not a sea. But anyway, in this area around Nazareth and around the Sea of Galilee, according to tradition, Jesus Christ spent most of his life. So there are many places that Christians visit in this area. I did not visit all of them by no means, but it's really an interesting place, and it's worth a visit, in my opinion, even if you are not religious, just for the history and for the sense of it. So this is probably my last video from and about Israel. It was certainly a very interesting trip, and I wouldn't expect that it is now during pandemic all that full. Probably there are no tourists whatsoever. Hopefully it will change soon. So thank you for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumb up, and see you next time. Goodbye.